Welcome to the first ever virtual Best of the Best. I'm Liv, and I'm here today with my colleague Caroline from Chicago Public Library and our friend Dorsey from Chicago Public Schools. We're all librarians and we love to read, which is why we're here to share 10 of our 45 very favorite picture books of 2020 with you. Be sure to check out the entire list on the Chicago Public Library website. Take it away, Dorsey.
I am so excited to share our first book with you. It's called All Because You Matter. It's by Tammy Charles and illustrated by Brian Collier. In her author's note, Tammy Charles reveals that she wrote All Because You Matter to provide parents with a starting point for conversations about the racial climate in our country today, a springboard for discussions for families of all backgrounds. Faced with navigating today's challenges of identity, self-worth, and survival, the main character is always surrounded by a community of family and a legacy of love and pride. The book reads, on the night you were born, stars sprayed across the sky, each one full of light, hope, love, and all the moments in your life that would matter. Like the first time you opened a book, like a mirror staring back at you, and you really saw yourself. Same hair, same skin, same dreams. And then, just like the moons hidden in the dark, there will be times when you too will listen and question your place in the universe. Or the time you'll see a letter, big, bold, red on the page, and you will question if you and your work and your effort matter. And you hear Pop Pop's whispered prayers as another name is called, Trayvon, Tamir, Philando, and you wonder if they or you even matter. On the day the universe was created, you were thought of, dreamed of, carried like a knapsack full of wishes as planets, stars, moons took their places, making room for you, your people, their dreams, your future. All because since the beginning of time, you mattered, they mattered, we mattered, and always will. If you enjoy the book, All Because You Matter, reach for You Matter by Christian Robinson or the stunning I Am Every Good Thing by Derek Barnes with an empowering message for young readers. Brick by Brick by Heidi Woodward Sheffield is the warm and charming story of a young boy named Luis, who is very proud of his father, a bricklayer who builds homes for families. My papi es fuerte. My papi is strong. He's a bricklayer. His arms are like stone. Luis's pride in his dad is palpable on this page. He helps build the city, brick by brick. Several pages showcase how Luis and his father's days are similar and different. Though Papi's work is brick by brick, mine is book by book. I dream of a house for us, nuestra casa para siempre, our always house, with a garden for Mama and maybe a dog for me. One Saturday, Papi surprises Luis with a new house for them made of Papi's bricks. Tonight I dream in my house, nuestra casa para siempre, our always house. If you enjoy Brick by Brick, you'll also enjoy La Casa de Algún Día by Julia Durango, about a little boy who inspires a community to fix up the home of an elderly neighbor, or Digging for Words, about building a library, and The Old Truck, about fixing up an old truck over time, similar to how Poppy builds their home brick by brick. Evelyn Del Rey is Moving Away by Meg Medina is also available in Spanish. Evelyn Del Rey se muda and is illustrated by Sonia Sanchez. Evelyn Del Rey is Daniela's mejor amiga, her numero uno best friend. On moving day, Daniela hurries over to Evelyn's apartment across the street. Evelyn and Daniela know each other's hiding places. They play together easily and have a deep and sweet friendship that is changing. As they play in the last empty moving box, it is time to go. They hold hands and spin one last time in that wide, empty space until they tumble to the floor. They plan to call one another every day and visit in the summer. They promise to stay friends and seal the promise by pressing their last two sparkly stickers to their cheeks. Feeling the sting of goodbye and the uncertainty of moving and losing their best friends, readers will be delighted that the last page reveals that yes, Evelyn Del Rey did indeed keep in contact with Daniela, her first mejor amiga, her numero uno best friend. If you enjoy this book about friendship, check out the new book about the fun of making friends in My Best Friend by Julie Fogliano, or the charming board book Federico and All His Families by Mili Hernandez, about a cat who claims a variety of diverse families as his own. Si Quisqueya Fuera un Color is also available in English, titled If Dominican Were a Color by Silly Recio. In the Dominican Republic, it is estimated that 75% of the population were descendants of enslaved African people. Though many Dominicans suffered through racism and colorism, even from fellow Dominicans, author Celie Recio was proud to have been raised in the beautiful Dominican Republic with friends and family members representing many hues and cultural traditions. If Dominican were a color, she says, it would be the mahogany skin of one grandma with honey brown eyes and the yellow tinted skin of her other grandma, just like Celie's. The neutral browns that color our lips, the café con leche that everyone sips. If Dominican were a color, it would be merengue hips swaying when I walk, hopscotch from my niñas, and counting jacks from 1 to 10. There wouldn't be a palette that could hold it all. It's the seasons put together, summer, winter, spring, and fall. Pair this book with Freedom Soup by Tammy Charles, or Catch That Chicken by Atanuke. Books that share the importance of traditions, family history, and pride in one's heritage. Our next speaker is Caroline Broren.
Thank you, Dorsey. I get to start with my favorite book on this list, Lyft by Min Lei, illustrated by Dan Santat. Every child riding an elevator for the first time soon becomes enamored with the magical power that seemingly comes from pushing elevator buttons. For children like Iris who live in multi-story apartment buildings, pushing the elevator buttons becomes something like a sacred responsibility. So when Iris feels the betrayal of her parents when they allow her younger brother to push the button for the first time, she clearly must do something. Though perhaps pushing all the buttons is not the best choice. Finding a discarded elevator button is just the kind of serendipity Iris needs to regain her sense of power by escaping from her hurt feelings. Whether through true magic or the magic of her imagination, the repurposed elevator button provides Iris opportunities for thrilling adventures. Though sibling rivalry may rear its ugly head, the family bond proves stronger, and when her brother needs her, Iris knows just what to do. As the book says, after all, everyone can use a lift sometimes. And adventures shared with a loved one create memories with a magic of their own. This stunningly illustrated story is an ode to the power of elevator buttons for sure, but most importantly, our imaginations. The sparsely worded graphic novel format tells the story of Iris's fantastic adventures so clearly through its visuals, but the smartly crafted text includes evocative onomatopoeia that amps up the sense of wonder experienced vicariously by the reader. Timely for a year in which circumstances necessitated more imaginative escapes from real life than usual, you may enjoy other fanciful books from our list: Bedtime for Sweet Creatures by Nikki Grimes, The Barnabas Project by the Fan Brothers, and The Bear and the Moon by Matthew Burgess. Our next title is Nana Akua Goes to School by Tricia Elam Walker, illustrated by April Harrison. Inspired by her librarian mother and her dedication to encouraging differences to be celebrated rather than mocked or feared, the author wrote this tender, honest, and hopeful story of cultural pride and love of one's own heritage. April Harrison's luminous illustrations are perfectly suited to show Zora's emotional journey as well as the gentleness, confidence, and warmth of Nana Akua. Everyone in Zora's class and in her intergenerational Ghanaian family are excited about the prospect of Grandparents' Day, when all the students can invite a grandparent to visit their class to talk about their lives. Zora isn't so excited. Based on prior experiences, she's worried that someone will be mean to her grandmother because of the tribal markings on her face. Nana Akua is proud of her appearance and finds a way to share this confidence through adinkra, traditional symbols from the Akan people of Ghana that represent different qualities such as cleverness or unity. The children and other grandparents love learning about Nana Akua and getting their faces painted with adinkra they choose to represent themselves. Including some of Zora's classmates and their grandparents in the story shows that everyone has something different to share with the world, and that is certainly worth celebrating. Walker's story shows how the love between Zora and her grandma as Zora clearly doesn't want to hurt Nana Akua's feelings, but she is a bit embarrassed about her different appearance. Being able to share this with her grandma and work together to find a solution takes strength that Nana Akua clearly embodies and reinforces with her granddaughter. Consider other stories on our list that highlight family diversity and celebrate traditions, such as Just Like a Mama by Alice Faye Duncan and Hike by Pete Oswald. 10 Ways to Hear Snow by Kathy Camper, illustrated by Kennard Pack. Last night's blizzard was gone, leaving the city muffled and white. Lena can't wait to get outside for a walk to visit her grandmother, Siti, whose eyesight is failing. As she bundles up with her hat low over her eyes and her scarf high up on her nose, she wonders if this is how Siti sees things, and she notices that sounds all around her seem clearer. Kennard Pack's gorgeous artwork uses light and shadow to highlight the beauty of a snowy day as Lena notices different ways that she can hear the snow along her walk to Siti's. I particularly love this illustration with its bird's eye view of Lena's footprints. That perspective is just awesome. The literal and figurative warmth Lena feels being with Siti is evident as they happily embrace and then get to work making stuffed grape leaves. The familiarity of making favorite family comfort foods on cold winter days makes their task something anyone can relate to, even if rolling grape leaves is novel to the reader. The playfulness and humor Lena and Siti share, pretending their stuffed grape leaves are mustaches, made me laugh out loud and brought on nostalgia for similar experiences with my own family. As they finish their cooking, Lena excitedly shares her observations about the sounds of snow on her walk with Siti, and the two venture outside to share in the quiet beauty of nature together. Readers who enjoy 10 Ways to Hear Snow will surely enjoy similar books from our list, including another snowy adventure, A Polar Bear in the Snow by Mac Barnett. One title that also explores nature from a unique perspective is the perhaps surprisingly adventurous and funny Life of a Rock, Old Rock is Not Boring by Deb Paluti. Now we'll move on to Librarian Liv.
Thank you, Caroline. Our Little Kitchen, written and illustrated by Jillian Tamaki. Tie on your apron, roll up your sleeves. Pans are out, oven is hot, the kitchen's all ready. Where do we start? Welcome to the Little Kitchen. Every Wednesday, a group of volunteers gather together to prepare a meal from produce grown fresh in their community garden. As the volunteers check their garden, their fridge, and their cupboards, tasty donations begin to arrive. Bread from the bakery next door, beans from the food bank. The chefs are really cooking when 15 minutes, the manager cries. Here comes the neighborhood, ready to share a meal. Is everything ready? Has everyone found their seat? And will they like what they eat? You'll have to read and find out. This warm and delicious tale of a community food kitchen is based on author-illustrator Jillian Tamaki's experience volunteering at a food kitchen in her community. And for more tasty Best of the Best reads, be sure to check out Danny Ramadan's Salma the Syrian Chef and Rebecca J. Gomez's Federico and the Wolf. We Are Water Protectors, written by Carol Lindstrom, who is Mestizo Ojibwe, and illustrated by Michaela Goad, who is Tlingit Haida. We stand with our songs and our drums. We are still here. This is the story of our most precious resource, water, and of the many Indigenous peoples led movements to protect clean water. Water is sacred, a young Anishinaabe girl's grandmother tells her, but water is also in danger. My people talk of a black snake that will destroy the land, spoil the water, poison plants and animals, wreck everything in its path. As the black snake winds their way, will the girl and her people run and hide? No, they will take courage and stand together. They will become water protectors. Water protectors fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. The winged ones, the crawling ones, the four-legged, the two-legged, the plants, trees, rivers, lakes, the earth. Water protectors know that we are all related. You can join the water protectors too by taking the Water Protector Pledge at the end of the book. I'm going to be honest with you. There just aren't that many books like We Are Water Protectors, which is part of what makes it so special and my very favorite book on this year's list. But if you're a kid who wants to get involved in your community, be sure to check out Meg McNamara's Vote for Our Future. Or if this book has you thinking about your relationship with the earth, you might like Deborah Underwood's Outside In. Your Name is a Song, written by Jamila Tompkins Bigelow and illustrated by Luisa Uribe. Cora Jalimuso does not want to go back to school. Nobody could pronounce her name, not even the teacher. And when she said it out loud in art class, one boy looked scared. At recess, some kids even said her name sounded made up. Is her name too long or too scary or too different? Not at all. Cora Jalimuso's name is just right, just like her. Tell your teacher that your name is a song, says her mama. But what does she mean? Take the name Olumide. Olumide is a melody girl, and so is Kotone. As her mama sings her way through all kinds of names, names filled with fire, names pulled from the sky, names that come from deep within the heart, Cora Jalimuso's confidence soars. Tomorrow, she will teach her classmates that her name and all of their names are songs. But how would you sing your name? For more Best of the Best reads about finding your voice, be sure to check out Miranda Paul's Speak Up and Jordan Scott's I Talk Like a River. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to check out the full list of Best of the Best titles on the Chicago Public Library website.